This 18-year-old made $22,000 last month with his AI agency, and he still wasn't able to close this deal. The prospect was qualified, and he had a problem, and he had the budget, and he actually wanted the offer. This is literally every agency's dream lead when they see it pop up on their calendar, and it still fell apart, not because of the offer or the pricing, but just because it came down to timing. Something that showed up almost 40 minutes into the call that changes how you should have approached the call from the very beginning. And that's exactly what happened to Sammy. He's one of my students in my one-on-one program. He's a good closer, and he's usually able to close most of the leads that come in that are qualified. But this is a perfect example of knowing your prospect's timeline before you get all the way into the call, because it can determine a deal long before any objection ever comes up. Before we get into it, this video isn't tearing down Sammy's performance whatsoever. This kid's 18 years old, making around $22,000 a month with his agency, and he handled the call pretty well. But when a call is this close to closing, that's where the real lessons are when it comes to sales. So as we go through it, don't just listen for what I tell him to say differently, but try to understand why it could have changed the whole direction of the call. Let's get right into it.
Going over his sales call that he took I think it was a week ago or so. He didn't close this call, but we want to go over this call because he feels like he could have improved on it a lot. So I'm just going to be giving him pointers. I'm going to hear his feedback. So I think it's super important that you guys, get feedback and input from me and him, just from people that have taken a bunch of sales calls. So just pay attention. And yeah, if you guys like this style, just let me know. I'm going to keep doing these. But yeah, let's get right into it.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Vito, how are you?
I'm doing good. Is it Sam or Sammy?
Sammy.
Hey, Sammy. What's up, brother?
Good, man. How are you? How's everything?
Good. Had the day off today. Got sunburnt. Pretty.
Nice.
Like
I mean, that's always good to have the day off. It's always good. Awesome, man. So remind me, are you in Canada or
I'm in New York, Central New York.
Okay. So nice, man. Awesome. Are you next to Albany, New York at all?
I am next to Albany, New York.
Nice. Yeah, my brother, he went to Albany Med School. He just finished there. Yeah.
Awesome. So Albany's about 45 minutes north of me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been there before?
Oh yeah, that's where our headquarters is for Plug PV. So I'm there often.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Nice. Well, I know I know I had a phone call.
So a few things right here. Sammy did a good job of building rapport in the beginning of the call, just finding things that they have in common. He said, where is he based out of? He said Central New York. Sammy has a connection to Central New York. So just having that small talk, it wasn't too long. It was like probably a minute, 2 minutes. I think it's super important to build rapport in the beginning of calls, just so you don't sound so salesy, like all you care about is getting money from them, and you actually have like a human interaction with them. But the one thing I will say is he could have set expectations a little bit better, because like he's coming to the call, no shirt on. Like, you want to set expectations like this is a professional call, like this is business. I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world, but that's just something that I would have personally done like beforehand. Just, come to the call prepared, dressed, actually like we're doing business here. But obviously some of these guys, they don't even take a lot of sales calls like this, so they don't really know how to come prepared. What was your kind of thought process on that, Sammy?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. I didn't really want to point it out, to be honest. But
yeah. But what did that come from? Do you think you just didn't want to get off on the wrong foot, or you were kind of just scared too?
Yeah, and I think it was both. A little bit scared, also just if telling someone to kind of put their shirt on, kind of. Yeah, but I think no, I was definitely, honestly, I was scared. Like I was thinking about it to say it, but I was like, I don't want to say it. But
yeah. I mean, one way you could have like fixed that is just be like, hey, do you need a few minutes just to get, ready? And like just something subtle. You don't have to be like, hey, can you go put a shirt on? Just like kind of throw it out there. If he doesn't, then it's not the end of the world. Just so it's more professional. You know what I mean? Because you want to come off as a professional as well. So it might just give him a different perspective. Like, okay, this kid's serious. Because again, Sammy kind of looks young. So you want him to take you serious and look at you as an authority on this call, because you're the one that is trying to help him, and he's coming to you for help. But other than that, I think the rapport was definitely good in the beginning.
Oh no, sorry, I texted you. My bad. Texted you. We kind of talked a little bit. So kind of usually how I like to run these calls, right? It should be about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, around that.
That's cool.
Usually I like to run these calls, right? Just kind of learn a little bit what you do, your services, how long you've been in business, right? And kind of tell you what we do, right? So biggest kind of thing I've seen, I work with roofers and solar companies, right? So sometimes a lot of kind of companies come to us like this, right, on these calls, and they kind of tell me the situation.
Another little nitpick, because I fall victim to this a lot, is just saying filler words, because it it kind of it doesn't affect like the call itself. I do this all the time where it's like, yeah, so right, so you just want to try to take out as many filler words as you can and just get right to the point, and it just helps with your speech, honestly, and just talking in general.
Right, and we're not the best fit, right? So the whole idea of it is to just see if we can even help you or not, if we can even benefit you. Okay.
I work for a company that's called, we're the number 1 installer in New York State as per NYSERDA, which is New York State. Yep. We are all independent contractors. So there's 3 sales teams. One's in Rochester, one's up by Albany, and one is down where
Oh, and a little info on Sammy's offer. It's AI lead gen in the front end, and then he has AI actually following up with their leads. So he's running ads for his agency, but then he also provides ad service for his clients as well.
We have free reign over the whole. Actually, we work in New York State, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Ohio, Florida. We can go anywhere, anywhere we want to work. Obviously, we like to stay close to home, but the way we get our leads is self-generated. Knock on doors, cold calling, referrals, that kind of stuff.
Door knocking, yeah, awesome. Yeah, I see that sometimes. How's that working for you, like referrals, and how's that working for you right now?
Referrals are okay. Knocking on doors really sucks, especially come fall and winter time, because the daylight hours we have here are very slim. I don't know, where are you?
So right there, that's a good pain point that he just like gave to us, saying that, door-to-door knocking sucks. And this is where Sammy can kind of dive in a little bit on that pain point later down the call and saying, instead of doing door knocking, we can implement Meta. This way, leads are just coming into you, like inbound leads, so you don't have to go out door knocking, which sucks already, especially in the winter times when it's slow and nobody wants to go out and door knock. That's just something that I picked up on right there. Was that something you picked up on too, Sammy, during the call, or did you not really notice that?
You said that kind of in the back of my mind a little bit. I think definitely like I want that kind of to pain point to stick more. Like I want to be like, yeah, like I want to make sure I can capitalize that later down the road. But when he said that, I took note of it, right? It was like it's in the back of my mind, right? And then I kind of recognized it a little bit when he said that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm Southern California.
Okay, so totally different. It gets dark here at 4:00 in the winter.
Yeah.
So
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Between that and the temperatures, it's not hard to knock in the winter. It just sucks. It's freezing cold.
It's cold. Yeah.
So I found another company like yours in the past. I just don't know where they went. I don't know where they went. They had a call center, and they would cold call homeowners, and they would keep the lead warm until we showed up to their front door to sit for the sale.
Yeah.
It was a great deal. It worked out very good. We made a ton of money, and we did good with them. Nice. I just don't know where they are.
Did they leave you, or like?
No. So the tax credit went away, and then we, as the company, we had until October 31st to sell with the federal tax credit, because anything beyond that, we wouldn't get it installed in time. So everybody went balls to the wall, if you will, until October 31st, and then everybody kind of laxed up, let all the installs happen, and then started working again January, February of this year, and everything completely changed. The whole industry changed without that tax credit.
Yeah.
So that company, I don't know where they went.
So also, this is something to take note of. He's probably going to be skeptical to actually invest into working with somebody else because he's already had bad experiences. So this is something that I would tell Sammy, like, to understand and make sure he takes notes on, like, during the call, and making sure he's actually breaking down his offer so much that there's so much trust and he believes that he can actually help Vito in his business. And at the end of the day, it's a trust factor, because a lot of these businesses we're in a trust recession, right? It's the all-time low with trust. So that's just a point that I would take note of. I don't know if it's like you kind of that too, Sammy, like that was in the back of your head, but like what was your kind of like thought process on that?
Honestly, when he said that, I kind of think like if he's already had one bad experience, right? Maybe he's probably not, like you said, hesitant. He doesn't trust anyone else because he had that one experience where the company like left him. Like honestly, when he said, I was kind of shocked because like usually they say like, yeah, this company promised me this, didn't get me that, but this guy said his company just left him. So I was kind of like I was a little skeptical on that. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think I should have probably wrote that down somewhere. I think something I'm kind of struggling with too is when people are saying those pain points, I'm not really like I kind of understood it, but I think the chances of me bringing it up later on the call is not too high. So they're kind of finding a way to just making sure I can maybe like write them down somewhere, just kind of like know every single pain point he said. So later on down the call, I can kind of go dive deeper in those pain points.
Yeah, I think that's something that's super important because I just went over another student sales call, and he is just finding that happy balance, right? Because my other student, Corbin, he was just taking straight notes the whole time. He wasn't really as engaged as you were, but with you, you're not taking any notes. So trying to find out that, that balance of, taking down those pain points so you can refer back to them later down the call. Because I think it's super important, especially if they've already had it was a good experience, but it probably left a bad taste in their mouth that somebody just left like that. So they are going to be skeptical about that. So just making sure throughout the call, you're explaining how you guys are going to combat that and be different and make sure you're going to provide a good service and you want to work with them long term and like form a partnership.
See, okay. And you said that went really well for you working with that company. It went really well for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what's kind of making you look like for marketers or like look for people like me?
I don't want to waste my time knocking on doors. I want to wake up in the morning, have my coffee, and sit 6 appointments a day, come home and go to bed.
So this is another thing. Did you ask him, is he the one doing all the door knocking, or does he have a team in place that door knocks?
I didn't ask him, but I guess on this call, I'm guessing he already does that because he was the one kind of complaining on like how it was hard and he wants to go home, or he wants to sit on 6 appointments a day. But no, I didn't ask him that question. No.
Okay. That's something that I would have asked, just because that's just another pain point you can like dig deeper on, because if he's the one doing that, he already said it, he doesn't want to do that forever. So if there are objections of him actually not wanting to go with the service, you can kind of refer back to, hey, if you guys don't put a system in place, you're just going to forever be door knocking, and then your business is going to rely on you doing cold outreach, which the best businesses that are doing, 6-figure months, 7-figure months, they have some type of client acquisition channel where it's inbound, where they're not going strictly outbound. I think that's a big point that you need to stress on this call. I don't know if you did yet, but that's just something that I noticed.
Yeah. And then I guess like numbers wise, how much leads or like appointments usually do like right now, like a month, for like just ballpark, I guess?
So right now is pretty slow. We're installed. Personally, I'm selling anywhere from 5 to 15 a month right now. But that's using traditional methods, knocking and referrals. I would like to double that. I'd like to double that, triple that, whatever I can get.
Yeah. And so can you, you said 5 to 15, like can you handle more if you get like 20 or 30? We see can handle more?
Absolutely. Yeah. I can definitely handle more. I'm sitting around a lot right now. I'm not busy at all. Yeah. So I can definitely handle more. I'd like to, realistically, I'd like to get anywhere from 20 to 35 a week is where I would like to be.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah. Okay. So, I have a couple of notes down. I'm glad I kind of got to know more about your business, right? What you did in the past, if it worked or not, what you're doing now. So now I guess I'm going to explain what we do, right? What we offer, our services and all that. So are you familiar with any social media like Facebook and Instagram ads at all?
I am.
You are? Okay. So I'm going to go and screen share real quick. It's going to be like a little whiteboard so you can just kind of see everything.
So let me ask you this, is the discovery portion of the call done, or do you still do some more discovery and you kind of just want to explain your offer a little bit more right here? Or kind of just walk me through like what your thought process is and how you handle sales calls? Because I know everybody does it differently. I like to make the discovery a little longer, like at least, 15, 20 minutes where I'm just asking questions about their business. But obviously sometimes there's not that many questions that need to be asked and you can just go right into what you offer.
So honestly here, I think that's something I'm struggling with too a little bit, is discovery is a little bit too short. I think so. My thought process kind of there is the way I'm kind of going about it is like I kind of have a lot of ammunition in a way. Like he told me a lot of pain points. We ran through numbers, what he's doing now, what he wants to do, what his goals are. He told me how he's getting his jobs right now. So door knocking. We also kind of brought up like I don't want to do door knocking. I want to wake up and have 6 appointments a day and go back home. Right. I do think though maybe this call is a little bit different. I think in general, the discovery needs to be a little bit longer to really kind of make him say his pain points more. So yeah, I think definitely it needs to be a little longer. Honestly, with kind of looking back at this call, I kind of already see a lot of ammunition I have. So I think it's just whether I actually kind of double down on his pain points later down the road, later down the call.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad whatsoever, because he definitely does like uncover a lot of his pain points. But just try to dig a little bit deeper on it to make him see that like he already understands the problem, but that it's more of a problem than what he thinks it is, right? Get him to see that, hey, you're super, free right now. Like, what is your business going to look like if, you keep going the cold outreach route? If you keep doing door knocking, are you guys going to be able to scale? How do you think your business is going to look like in the next 6 months to a year? More in depth of this is where I see the business. This is what I think we're going to be at in X amount of months. This is where I want to be and stuff like that. That's at least how I would approach it. I mean, I think you did a good job uncovering some pain points, but definitely make it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Awesome. So there's kind of like two main pillars to this, okay? So number one, right, is the ads, right? How we generate you these leads, okay? So something we do is we're going to create custom video and image ads tailored for your business, right? What you do, okay? Now, our kind of goal as a marketer is to position your company as the expert, right? As the expert people want to hire when they want to get a solar installed or your service installed, right? So now, another thing too about ads, I don't know how familiar you are with these ads, right? But targeting is very important. Targeting and lead quality is very important, okay?
I'm familiar. Yep.
So we focus heavily on targeting, right? So instead of showing your ads everywhere, right?
This is also something else that I just thought of. Did you ask him beforehand? Has he tried any other forms of marketing or no?
I didn't ask him that. I think, I didn't ask him that. Yeah.
I think that's super important to ask him because then you could see what his experience was like with marketing or what it wasn't if he hasn't done it. I think that's a super important question you need to ask, like a qualifying question, because that it doesn't change your pitch, but now you understand if he understands Meta or if he doesn't at all, and how much like more in depth you have to go in explaining it, or if he has like a baseline understanding.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right? We're going to zero in on homeowners actively planning new solar bills or your services in your service area, right? So that way you're not going to be paying for junk leads or people that waste your time, people that don't have the money, don't have the budget, right? They're not qualified, right? But rather you're going to be paying for actual homeowners like who are already kind of raising their hand, who kind of want your service, right? So that's kind of pillar number one, okay? So pillar number two, right, is the lead follow-up and booking, right? So once we generate you these leads, right? So leads are basically someone who's like opting into your form, like they saw your ad, they're interested, right? They're not qualified, they don't want to buy it, but they're interested, okay? So the second a lead comes in, we're going to help you qualify and follow up with them immediately, okay? So how do we do that, right? It's an AI system. So when the lead comes in, that lead is going to get text.
I think another way you can position it is it's a system that utilizes AI. I wouldn't say strictly just the AI system because some people aren't too prone to AI yet. It really depends, right? Some people love AI, some people don't. So I always say it's a system that utilizes AI. This way they don't think it's completely AI. It's just a system that uses AI. Just something small that you can take into your next sales calls. And that's for anybody that's watching. It doesn't matter if your offer is AI lead gen or if you're doing like AI consulting or you're implementing voice agents, custom CRMs. I would always say it's a system that utilizes AI, just depending on what you're offering and how you're positioning it.
Texted automatically. Within 5 seconds, that lead's going to get texted by an AI chatbot, okay? It's going to texted, right? Idea of the chatbot is to, number one, follow up them immediately and qualify them, okay? So I'll give you an example. Another roofing.
And this is something too I feel like you could have done is, so I worked with a lot of businesses that, do marketing or do meta ads, but they have no system in the back end to actually follow up with them. I don't know if you're too familiar, but almost 80% of leads that aren't followed up with in the first 5 minutes don't convert. This way it shows them like, okay, this is super important. This is just a little trick that I've learned that helps me show business owners how important it is to actually get these systems in place, because some people think, oh, it's not that important, I'll just do it myself. But me and Sammy have both seen from previous experiences, these business owners say they're going to follow up with them, and then it's hours or a day later, and then the lead goes cold. It's super important that you position it as this is an important system to get in place, because you're just going to be burning ad spend if you don't have an automated system that follows up with them.
Company I'm working with, they only do insurance claims, right? No cash, just straight insurance, okay? So an example, the AI is going to ask the lead, hey, do you have homeowners insurance? If the lead says no, it's out of there. It will not book that lead in, okay? Now, obviously, the qualification process we're going to talk to you about, right? What's your ideal lead? What's the budget, their age? Are they the homeowner, right? We'll talk. That's more something me and you talk about, right? The whole idea of it, though, is the AI can connect to your calendar. So whatever calendar system you use, the AI can connect to that and book those appointments on autopilot. So the idea is like when you see an appointment on your calendar, that tells you that that appointment has been pre-qualified because the lead will not get to your calendar unless it has been pre-screened or pre-qualified by the AI chatbot. Right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Any questions? Anything that kind of popped up in the little pillars system?
Nope. So this is pretty. I've used a service like this before. It's pretty. This is pretty standard stuff so far.
And so when you say use it before, like have you hired a company like to do this before?
Sammy, I don't even want to revisit the amount of money I've spent on looking for leads and funnels and Facebook ads. And, the issue we're having right now is we have moved from selling the solar systems to leasing them. Okay. Now the leasing companies only want house rate production. So absolutely zero trees. And they want houses with less than 10-year-old roofs. Okay, so a lot of the problem is homeowners, do you have any shade? Not sure. Some of them think that because they get an hour of sunlight a day, that's enough for solar. Well, they're completely misunderstood. You know what I mean? So the issue we're running into is finding homeowners that know whether or not their roof is 10 years old or not, or if they have good shade or not.
Lead company or the marketing company actually qualify the leads asking those specific questions where, hey, do you guys have a 10-year-old roof? How much shade is covering the house? These are just little things that you could have asked them to see if the marketing company actually knew what they were doing when it came to qualifying leads, because more likely than not, he's probably worked, just like he said, we got the answer. He's worked with other companies doing marketing, doing Facebook ads, but we don't know how well it's been. I don't know if you go more in depth into it, asking how much has he spent? What did the metrics look like? Cost acquiring a client, stuff like that.
Understand your situation better. So you said you spent a lot of money in marketing, right? Like, are you talking about marketing you just try to do it yourself, or like you hire a lot of companies and they just didn't deliver for you?
I've hired a bunch of other companies. So the last company I worked with, they basically did the same thing you're going to do. I don't know if it's the same thing you're going to do, but there was some kind of Facebook ads. Okay, people would opt in and then they would fill out their information, and it wasn't an appointment. I would just get their information. Okay. So then I would have to immediately follow up, and 9 times out of 10, people would be like, oh, I didn't put my information in there. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, come on, dude. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
How do I know your phone number? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you followed the leads yourself. That company didn't do it for you?
No, I did it myself, which was also more time consuming and not something I was looking to do. I think you have the idea of what I want to do. I want them in my calendar. I want to show up, and obviously not every lead is going to be perfect. Obviously.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And like, that's the whole idea of the AI system, right? Because like you said, every single lead you're going to get, not all of them are going to convert. Not all. Some of them might be older people that saw your ad and just put the form, don't even know what they're doing, right? So the whole idea to kind of eliminate that is to have that AI system in place. So if you see appointments on your calendar, that tells you, okay, nice, this appointment's qualified, it fits your criteria, right? And then you can go from there.
Okay.
I think Sammy did a really good job with this, because he's just kind of breaking down what the previous company did that didn't work and just caused the business owner to spend even more time. And it wasn't really an automated system. Explain the difference of what he's going to do compared to that actual marketing agency. I think it was a great way of like the way he positioned it. Kind of what is your thought process behind that, Sammy? Like, do you like typically do that, or is that just something you were like, you just kind of seen based off what Vito told you?
Yeah, no, that was, I kind of did see a little bit, like right as the second he said that he had to call the leads up, or he had to follow up leads, I already knew, okay, like, yeah, I'm glad you told me that. You don't have to do that anymore. Like, we have the whole AI in place where like, you don't need to waste your time calling leads up. So yeah, when he kind of said that, I was immediately kind of thought about that. And yeah, because it was like, he just basically told me exactly what I can do to fix that. He basically told me a problem, and I have that solution to that problem he just told me, basically.
Exactly. I think that was super good, because like, just like I tell a lot of my other students, like half the time the business owners are going to tell you exactly what they need, and half the time it's what you're offering. It's just about how you can position it and how much trust you can build in that call and show them, your system is going to fix their problem and how you can do that. I think that's just the biggest thing, because half the time the business owners, like, correct me if I'm wrong, saying that half the time you get on these calls, the business owners tell you exactly what they need, and more than likely it's exactly what you offer. It's just about creating enough value and trust behind that.
it's easy to let them say it. It's just how you can capitalize on them. Like I think
Exactly.
after looking at this call, I think I could have easily. He gave me so much pain points. I think it's just how you can actually capitalize on them, and keep on bringing up so he's more aware of it basically.
Exactly.
All right. So I guess what they had their own generic qualifying criteria, right? So what you're saying is that we can talk about what we want to do for ourselves.
So yeah, like we actually need your info because we use what you tell us to train the AI.
Awesome.
Right?
So that's different. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
totally
so
different than what they were doing.
Yeah, so like whatever, like for example, it's the homeowner, the roof has to be 10 years or older, insurance, the whole idea of that, like we will talk to you about that and you tell us everything you want, you go say, and we feed the AI about that. So it's not going to let anyone through that does not fit your guidelines or criteria.
Perfect.
The biggest thing too is like, I can tell you all this, but I do just want to show you actually how kind of
Sure.
the system, right, how you get notified, just so you're kind of familiar with everything, right? Because me telling you everything, it's one thing, but I just want to kind of like show you actually how it kind of works.
Yep.
So this automation, when a new lead submits, so when someone submits a form, okay? So you're going to get an email exactly like this, okay? To your main email. It's going to be, you have a new lead. Let me load real quick.
I need a bigger MacBook.
You have a new lead, right? The name of the lead, the phone number of the lead, email address, and address of the lead, okay? This is all automatic. So the second someone submits their info on lead form, you're going to get an email exactly like this. The same exact template, exactly like this, okay? But obviously, like in their name, it would be the lead's name, the lead's phone number, and all that, okay? Their info, okay? So you're going to get an email, okay? You're also going to get SMS too. So to your phone number, same idea, right? The name of the lead, phone number. Whole idea is we want to make sure you're aware of when you get leads and appointments.
I think this is also super important, just breaking down his offer completely to the business owner so he understands and there's no like missing points, giving him an opportunity to be confused on anything. I think this is super important, especially with this offer specifically, because his offer, there's a lot that goes into it, right? Definitely like baseline is simple. It leads for the business owner and the business owner closes leads, but more goes into it. But I think it's super good that he broke everything down because some people don't break anything down. And I think that's another reason why they can't close a lot of these deals, because the business owner is left confused on how the process actually works. Like, Sammy, explain to people, did you start doing this? Like, did you recently start doing this, or did you do this from the jump? Or if you didn't start doing this, like from the beginning, did you see like an increase of closes when you implemented this?
Yeah, so this is actually kind of new. I've actually been starting doing because I do think kind of what you said, like I think the goal of kind of these calls is to eliminate any confusing aspects you can to these owners, right? And like I said, these owners, they're not like, they might say they have knowledge, but like they don't know really anything. Like we have so much more knowledge on how AI works, on how marketing works. So I think actually showing them what, like for them going into like screen sharing, showing them how they get notifications, how the whole automation works. I think it's pretty important because like I don't know if you kind of comment when I said in the beginning of how it's me telling you all this is one thing, but I want to actually show you it so you actually know you have the full clarity, you have the full kind of info to kind of actually understand what we're doing for you and how you can kind of be alert when you get leads, appointments, and all that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I like it. I think this is something like if you guys are running this same offer or even any other offer, kind of just giving them a demo of how it actually works more in depth, because the more clarity they have, the better chances you have of actually closing them.
So, I mean, like I said, everything, any questions, like concerns on just the whole process I just showed you, any of that stuff?
No. Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have like a little pen and paper with you?
Yep, I do.
Okay, awesome. So now to work with us, right? So you have your ad spend and then a one-time upfront fee. Okay. So
What is the name? Sammy, sorry to interrupt you. What's the name of your company?
Yeah, Shift AI Systems. SHIFT AI and then space systems.
Okay. One-time fee.
Yeah. So there's a one-time fee and then there's ad spend. Okay. So for the one-time fee, this is a one-time build out fee, right? This covers you 90 days. So it's a $3,000 USD upfront fee. Okay. This covers you 90 days or 3 months of service, right? After you pay that, that's the only payment you send to us for 90 days. Okay. Then there's ad spend. So even if you just do this by yourself, you have to pay ad spend. Right? This is paid advertising, right? So to work with us, ad spend we require is at least 50 USD a day. So 50 a day, which is 1.5K a month, right? Does that make sense so far, that monthly?
Yep.
And so after that 3,000, the only thing you pay is ad spend. You don't pay us any monthly you not pay us per appointment, right? We're not going to charge you per appointment, per lead. It's not a rev share too. So for example, if you close a client, we don't take any percentage of what you close, right? None of that. Like there's no, you're not paying us monthly. You're only paying the ad. So the ad spend you pay goes straight to Meta. It doesn't go to us. Okay, it goes straight to Meta, the Facebook. Okay. Now, so we kind of, I don't know if you saw on.
I think this was super important. If you're running this like Meta offer, it's just how clear Sammy was breaking everything down pricing wise, because I think a lot of times there's a discrepancy when it comes to pricing with this specific offer when you're pitching it to these business owners, because some of them get confused like, oh, so I'm going to be paying you $3,000 up front plus 1.5K a month. They don't understand that 1.5K is going strictly to Meta. We don't touch any of that. It's just their cards on file and it gets billed right to Meta. And our only service is that 3K up front. So I think Sammy breaking it down, having him write it down on pen and paper just so you can visualize it is super important when you have this specific offer.
I think too, that pen and paper thing, I just kind of started like using that. I think it's actually like really, really important because number one, if someone's writing it down, they're more kind of like more locked in a way, like they kind of know what's going on. Number two, if this guy says follow up with me or something, he has something on pen and paper where he has my company name, he has my pricing, right? So I think just in general, when so especially like I said, all these people are old, right? They have problems with memory. So when they're actually writing stuff down in a pen, writing stuff down like actually makes a mistake more. So definitely, I think any offer you run, like having that pen and paper thing it's pretty good. It's good.
Super good. Like even if you have like an AI consulting offer, right, where it's like systems, like actual AI automation, you could do the same thing. So if this was for Vito, be like, yeah, Vito, so for the initial bill fee is $5,000 USD. That covers the whole system being built. And then is going to be a monthly retainer of each month, 1.5K a month, right? So that 1.5K a month covers us to keep up with maintenance on the service. Anything needs to get updated, anything needs to get fixed. That 1.5K is for us to just keep it up to date, keep that AI system up to date. Does that make sense? Like that's how you would position it if it was like an AI automation offer. Same type of thing. I think it works well with both offers.
Ad, right? But since we're kind of so confident in our skills and you know what we do, we have a guarantee. So we back up everything with a guarantee. Okay. So in the 90 days of working with us, okay, we're gonna guarantee you 45 sit-down appointments. Okay. Now, sit-down appointments meaning qualified and they show up. Okay. It doesn't count for no-shows. It counts for qualified and people who show up. Okay. That 45, that's our guarantee at the end of the 90 days. Okay. Now, usually, so what we see, right? I'll be honest with you. Okay. So with Facebook, there's kind of this thing called like the learning phase, right? Basically, like algorithm kind of thing, right? You know, first week you launch ads, you're kind of seeing, all right, like let's see, because we're telling Facebook, okay, show these ads to your service area, homeowners, ages, right? Facebook, unfortunately, they're going to put your ad out to people that might not want to see it, right? So there's, I would say, at least 1 week to 2 weeks of learning where like we're just testing stuff out. You will see leads here, but don't expect a lot. You will see leads, but don't expect a lot. Okay. The first month is always the slowest, right? I want to tell you this before, okay, just so you kind of understand, clarify stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I've run into this before. I get it.
Yeah, first month always the slowest.
Algorithm's gotta work itself out.
Exactly.
And even though he's has experience with Meta ads, this is super good because some business owners don't. Sammy's doing a great job of setting expectations. This is the number one thing you can do when it comes to these sales calls and working with these business owners is set expectations because you don't want to overpromise and then underdeliver. Sammy's being upfront with them. He's being very blunt. Hey, Vito, the first 2 weeks of us running Meta, you will get some leads, but they might not be qualified. So I want you to be like, I want you to understand and be patient that this is just a part of the process. And I think it's super important because it just shows clarity of, hey, we're being upfront and honest with you. We're not going to promise you some BS that's not going to work. We're showing you exactly how this system works.
To kind of set expectations, like the most important thing you can do with clients, just is churn rate, right? And just like, even especially not like I didn't even close this guy yet, but just I think telling him, but like usually I tell him onboarding, I go a lot more specific on like timeline, when we get this done, how much leads do you expect in this week. But I think even just telling him now where this guy's not, this guy's not closed yet, but telling him now we're like, you know, if we work together the first week or two, don't expect a lot of leads, but you still kind of see leads. So I think setting expectations, no matter what offer you run, no, it's the ads offer, custom solutions, whatever it is, like setting expectations, like the most important thing you can do for a client.
And then as well for AI lead gen, he showed that there's a guarantee, right? He's guaranteeing 45 sit-down appointments, which is good. And I think that helps his close rate because that just makes the business owner feel like, okay, I'm going to get a service done. And yes, it's a quote unquote guarantee, but realistically, Sammy's still getting paid. He's just going to keep working until he meets that guarantee. So it's not like he's not getting paid if he doesn't, meet up with that guarantee or meet that guarantee. He's just going to keep working with them until he does, which, I mean, he's going to be able to do it if they're spending 1.5K a month on ads. And that's another thing as well. If you're running this offer, you have to make sure they understand, like, the more money they put into ads, the more leads they're going to get and the more qualified they're going to be. So Sammy has it where the minimum to work with him is 1.5K, which helps his agency because that just makes it easier for him to get actual results for the business owners.
Yeah. Now I think last thing too, I don't know if I mentioned it here, but I think increasing ad spend too, like that's just minimum. But if you kind of tell them like if you want more leads, more appointments, you can increase the ad spend and you just get everything will double basically. So I think I don't know if I mentioned that on this call, but I think mentioning that too it's pretty good as well to do.
And if you ask like, what makes you different? Like why, this company told me, yeah, I'll get you this, but they didn't get me it too, right? I'm gonna be honest. Something I've run into, right? I guess something I've learned is letting past experiences define your future, right? Like, for example, just yesterday, I had someone come to me. The same thing. He said he spent like $5,000, $6,000 on a company, okay? And he kind of told me, like, I don't want to do marketing at all, right? And I kind of told him, like, yeah, that makes sense. But, like, will you let one company or two companies determine how you think of every other marketing company, right? That's how I kind of think of it. And honestly, man, it's all perspective. It's all mindset perspective, right? You can view it differently. That's how I view myself, right? But yeah, any questions, man? Any concerns, like a pricing, a guarantee?
I think this was super good. Sammy's just objection handling here, just on that point that we talked about before, where previous experiences kind of hindered these business owners to actually want to invest. And I think he did a good job, right? And he was saying how don't let previous experiences affect future opportunities, right? For your business to grow. And he kind of was just blunt with him saying, what did you exactly say, Sammy, when you were saying, I've worked with a bunch of other people that spend $5,000, $6,000?
Yeah, basically kind of like that other person on a call with, he was saying he spent a lot of money in marketing on ads, kind of brought up the idea of like, will you let your past experience kind of determine how you view other companies, like how you view these other marketing companies, basically.
As a business owner, he has to understand like, that's just a part of the game. You're going to get burned sometimes, but you can't let that hold you back from seeing growth in your business. And even us, me and Sammy, we've been burned before. Like we've lost a lot of money before just investing in other things, like other companies, other things just to grow the business. But that doesn't stop us from keep trying to invest because that's the only way your business is going to grow. So super important. I think that was a good objection handle. I want to see what he actually says to that.
The offer, anything like that?
So you're going to guarantee 45 sits for the first 3 months. So that's 15 a month. We're looking at. I got to tell you, man, I feel the same way the guy yesterday did about the whole Facebook ad thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Tell me something. Tell me this. I didn't know that you can see what other ads.
So I don't know what he's going to get into right there, but I would have asked. So yeah, I mean, completely understandable. Do you mind just telling me what's behind that actually? So you can get more in depth. Get behind what the actual reason is. Like understand it so you can actually objection handle it.
Yeah.
Other companies are doing and how they're performing. Explain that to me.
Yeah.
Why are you allowed to see that from other companies?
You can see it too. I'm gonna screen share my screen if I want to show you. Okay. It's the website. You can go on it right now too.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it's called the Meta Ad Library. So META Ad Library. Solar companies. Okay. Let it load a little bit. So now you can see. I want to show some of these aren't even solar, right? For example here. Okay. Empire Solar Solutions. Okay. You can see. So I want to tell you, this company, they started their ad on October 31st, 2025. What does that tell me? That tells me they've been paying for this ad for that long, right?
So it's working.
So exactly. So that tells me, okay, this is working, right? I'll show you the ad too.
Have you ever wanted to tell your electric company?
Can you see that? Can you hear it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's I'll just play it for you, honestly.
To go themselves. Hey, why'd you bleep me? I said fudge. That's right. For a limited time, we will send your power company 1 pound of sweet, delicious fudge as a parting gift when you go solar with Empire Solar.
Electricity rates are pacing to increase over 50% in just the next few years. What better way to show your power company how much you care than to give them the gift of sweet, delicious fudge when you finally break up with them?
All you need to do is click below, follow the steps.
Crazy. And like you can even see.
And it's a no-brainer why that ad is doing good and performing. It's just a highly edited ad. I'm pretty sure it's AI.
It's all, yeah.
Yeah, it's all AI. But like that right there, like there's a reason why it's performing well. And Sammy could have easily been like, we could do something exactly like this for you, right? It's a pattern interrupt. The reason why he's doing so good because he's cussing in it, right? A lot of businesses don't, kind of, advertise that, but he's just being blunt. So they're gonna get more leads from that because people are like, hey, this actually caught my eye. It's interesting. Let me see what it's about. And obviously it's profitable if they've been running it since October 31st. It's almost, what is that, 8 months, 9 months? Like it's obviously working.
So your fee is $3,000 down for the first 3 months. So you guys are basically charging $1,000 a month for your service plus ad spend.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you can put it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
So can I run through like numbers real quick? So
Absolutely.
So like, let's say your first month. Let's talk about scratch the 2 other months, just the first 30 days, right? Your first initial month investment is $4,500. Does that make sense? Like the 3,000 plus the 1,500, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, good question for you. What's like the average like job value ballpark? I know it's different, but like average looking at install.
Oh, one job will pay for it. 2 job will make it worth it.
I see. Okay. So I mean, let's say like I want to give you.
I would have got a little bit more into the nitty gritty, be like, yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of run into with a lot of solar companies. But if you don't mind, just give me an actual number, like estimate, just so we can have like a better understanding, right? Because say, like Sammy, what's an average that you come into with solar?
Upwards of like 15 to 20,000.
Okay, 15 to 20,000, right? So it's a no-brainer, right? And I'm pretty sure Sammy's going to explain that, like, hey, you're going to invest 4,500. If we just get you one lead, one qualified lead that you can close, you have what, 3x your return on investment, maybe 4. Like it's a no-brainer, right? And I think that's what Sam's going to try to get him to understand.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario. Let's look for the worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, we get you one job, right? Like worst case scenario, we just get you one appointment that you close, that actually pays you, right? You just said it pays for the fee, right? And I want to kind of tell you the different kind of perspectives to look at this, right? Because we're talking about your first month. Your first month is the most expensive because after the first month, it's just $1,500 a month, right? Because that 3,000 was only in the first month, right? But your second month, your third month, right, is the 1,500 at the end that goes into ads, okay? Now, to kind of look at your 3-month investment, right? So the full 90 days, what's it going to look like, right? It's 3,000 plus 1,500 plus 1,500 plus 1,500, right? Does that make sense? So $7,500, right? The full 90 days, okay? So 7,500, we're guaranteeing you 45 sit-down appointments. Now, what's like, what's your like sales process? Like, do you think you can close a good amount? Like, what's like
so pre-tax credit, I was doing very well. It was like 80% close rate.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm probably less than 50 now because of this,
50 now, okay.
this whole roof situation.
I see, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, question for you. 45 appointments, all of them are qualified, all of them show up.
The numbers work.
Right, like, yeah, right? And like $7,500, that's at the end. And like, if we like, and just to run you like numbers wise, like that is like 1 or 2 jobs. I mean, maybe less. It might be less. Obviously, I know it depends on like services, right?
Right.
But the idea of this is like, we not only do you want you to make your money back what you pay us, but the profit to make not just what you pay us, but even more than that back to you.
Right. Okay, so here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
In 1 month from now, I'm going to be getting a letter from my local fire department. I've been trying to get hired on at the local fire department. All right. Nice. I went to Arizona. I got my EMT. I'm number 51 on the list, and they hire in July and they hire in January. This past January, number 49 was hired. I'm number 51 on the whole county list, right? Yeah. So I'm going to be getting a hire letter, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting a job. So I don't think I want to position myself for the 3 months just in case I do get the job, because then I'm off to the academy for 6 months, right? So then I got to put everything on pause and wait. You know what I mean? So I was hoping that you were a call center that called homeowners and just put them in my calendar. Because didn't I read? Maybe it wasn't yours, but I thought I read that you don't pay anything until the appointment is booked. Did I read that on yours, or was that something else?
Another one.
All right. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. So the point is that I don't think I'm going to pay for the 3 months, not because I don't believe in you or I don't trust your system. So far, you have shown me the better options of all of them. I like your AI thing. I think auto qualifying based on my personal criteria is better than auto qualifying on their criteria. So I think that would work. I just don't think I'm going to move forward for the whole 3 months because I don't even know if I'm going to be here next month.
I see. That makes sense. Okay. So, I mean, like, as for timeline, like, when would you be expecting that they would hire you? Like, when would you be expecting that you would start that?
I'll know the middle or end of next month.
Middle next month. Okay, I see. Okay.
And then at that point, like the day they tell you they hire you, you have to go for a drug test, and then they go fit you for gear, and then the following week you're off to the academy. which is
And this is something I would have asked. Been like, okay, so what's your long-term play with the solar company, if you don't mind me asking, Vito? Just because that's kind of weird, right? If he's running a somewhat successful solar company and he's looking into ads or he's opting into all these forms, why is he so, now why is he not adamant on actually like going forward with it, right? So you always find like some BS like excuses or objections. I mean, this is not really that BS because he's actually trying to get a job and he's going to be gone for 6 months. But you could have asked him. I mean, this one's hard because like he has a legitimate reason why, and like there's not really too much you can really objection handle with this one because he just said like he's going to be gone. But I would have asked him like, so that just assumes like he's this one-man team. You could have asked him like, so he doesn't like, is he going to put his business on pause? Like, what is that going to look like? And why do you want to go into the EMT, the firefighter world if this business is doing good? That's just something I would have asked.
Yeah.
I could be upstate for 6 months, or I could be downstate for 6 months. Like, you don't know where you're going. So, I mean, I don't know if I could move forward with this. You guys don't really do a 1 month kind of thing, and even at the end of the 1 month, we're only just gearing up and getting the algorithm correct, right?
Yeah, I would say that. Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of, do I spend the $4,500 and then leave next month, or obviously, if I don't get the job, I'll stay and continue on. But I'm pretty
there's
the job.
you're gonna
Like
get the job.
I've always worked there.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Unless you wanted to try to do a 1 month kind of, 1 month, month to month thing, and then we'll know. I'll know at the end of next month if I'm getting the job or not.
Okay. So you want only 1 month of service, like 1 month of ads to AI, right? Okay. And so what's not really like, it's not like all the pricing will go down. It's not gonna be $3K for 1 month. Okay. What's kind of holding me back is like results wise, right? Because like I said, like some of month one is gonna be a little towards this algorithm, right? Now I'm not saying we're gonna get you 0 appointments and 0 leads in a month. Like I kind of forgot, but I have like a bunch of results, client testimonials, all that. But the reason why we do the 3 months is so we give Meta that time, right? So we can really scale up and get that guarantee.
Yeah,
right?
I understand, definitely.
So this client wasn't closed. He said follow up with him, going back and forth about like his timeline and the Fire Academy and all that. So.
Okay. So I mean, overall, just my review on the sales call, it was pretty solid. I can't even lie. Like Sammy has came a long way from him first joining the program. That's why he's a coach in the program, because he knows what he's doing and he's just improved so fast and so much. He hit the nail on the head with objection handling. And honestly, I feel like this would have definitely been a close if he didn't have this EMT or this firefighter. I definitely think this would have been a close, just the way you objection handled, how you positioned the offer, and just explaining what's the difference between your agency and other agencies he's worked in the past. But I think you guys can learn a lot from this sales call, just how Sammy positioned his offer, regardless if you run Meta or if you're doing AI automation / AI consulting. The way he ran the sales call is how you guys should be running your sales calls, right? Because he started with rapport, then discovery. He could have improved a little bit more with the discovery. He could have made it a little bit longer, asking a little bit more questions. Obviously, there were some points in the call where he missed a few opportunities where he could have really digged in on the pain points. But regardless, I think overall, me just watching this call, it was very solid. But obviously, this is the whole point of this, right? Reviewing your sales calls so you can get better. And I think, me and Sammy both can agree to this. If you guys aren't reviewing your sales calls, you're not going to get better. That's the only way you're going to get better, and you're going to up your close rate. This way you can learn from your mistakes and just make sure they don't happen again. What's your thought process on this, Sammy? Like, how do you feel like, just give people a little bit more advice, or, what's your thoughts behind this?
Yeah. No, I think so this call was taken actually a little bit ago. I think it was beginning of June, I think.
Okay.
So I think even looking back at it, like just kind of the difference, I think most important, like Jay kind of brought up, is just reviewing your own sales call, right? Going in on there, watching the whole call, seeing how you handle objections, seeing what you could have done better. Like I'm going back on this call. I kind of forgot about this call, to be honest. I'm going back on it, seeing the amount of stuff like I could have done better, right? Of discovery, going on pain. Like I made him say his pain points, but I think I could have dived deeper into the pain point itself, right?
Exactly.
I think too, yeah, like just reviewing your sales calls and really just understanding how to frame it. I think positioning yourself on these calls is really important, because even like I look young, to be honest, and like some people on these calls, like they kind of ask me how old I am and they kind of get into that, but like I think position yourself where like I'm like you came to me, or even if it's a call, whatever it is, like we're having this call, like the goal of the call is to give is to give the prospect enough clarity and information where he can make a decision right on the call.
Exactly.
Right? I think kind of, and even going the extra, like me screen sharing the meta ad library, me screen sharing the Go high level back end, which is like, you think about like, why would someone care about that? But you should do that because it just shows how kind of straight up you are with this guy. Like when I'm kind of going and showing him the back end and the workflows and what's like lead notifications, the meta ad library, I showed him like how I actually can see these ads. Like you might look at that and be like, what's the need of that? But like this guy, you can kind of tell this guy was, I'm sure he was kind of happy I did that because now he can kind of see like my thought process. Right. And no, I think I just like last piece of advice too, is I think just I honestly with sales and just I think it's just reps, getting the sales calls as you can. Going back on every sales call, reviewing the transcript, using AI to like something I've kind of just done recently is all my sales call, copy and paste the transcript, put it into AI and like, what's the most objection I got? What's the most popular objection I got? What could I have done better? All that stuff, like leveraging AI, run an AI agency, use AI, right? So I think doing that and just being confident too. I think even now, confidence, tonality, even what Jay said in the beginning, like I kept on saying filler words. I still kind of do that, right? Yeah. But I think I'm just going in and eliminating that and just kind of understand, just learning it. I think you should want to fail. I think learn from your mistakes and just going from there.
Yeah, I think Sammy brought up a lot of good points for that, especially so for you guys that haven't that had that many experience with sales calls. This right here, where it says Sam's Fathom Note Taker, it's basically just this website called Fathom.ai. Basically records all your sales calls and it has a whole copy of the summary of the sales call and the transcript. Basically, you can copy the transcript, put it into Claude, and ask it to go over the sales call and where you could have improved. What were the objections? How did I handle this? And just having a different perspective on the actual sales call. I think that's super important. I'm glad you brought that up. And then as well, I think the biggest thing that you could take away from this call is the positioning and just the authority Sammy had on the call, because it comes down to this, what I tell all my students, you have to know your product like the back of your hand. You can tell off this sales call off rip if you don't really know anything about sales or anything in general about just online money, online business. Sammy knows his product. He knows what he's selling. He's an expert. And that just boosts the authority on the call where it's like, hey, if I invest into this kid, regardless of age or how he looks like, he knows what he's talking about. So that's something you guys can definitely take away from this call, whether it's AI consulting, AI lead gen, it doesn't matter. Know your product like the back of your hand. But overall, I think that was a good call review. Just like I said before, if you guys want me to do more of these, just let me know in the Discord. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.